Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet. They're running a dragnet through New Orleans right now. Hundreds of criminals caught in the dragnet. You're darn right, Drew Brees. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. On a pretty nice Tuesday afternoon. The weather's been pretty sweet lately. And don't get a little over the top like me early Sunday morning. I'm like, it's almost a little cold out here. It was like 47, 48. I was like, embrace it, Corey, for a couple of reasons. In about 45 minutes, it's going to be like 55. And it did. It got pretty warm pretty quickly. But it was nippy, like 47, 48 early Sunday morning. And then the second thing, in 3 weeks, whatever, there's no more cold. You know, that might have been the last of the cold. I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, weather predictor. I love how that hurricane stuff comes out of Colorado State. Is Nichols State doing the snowfall report for the Rockies? Anyway, yeah, I can't predict any of that stuff. But I don't know. You know it's funneling down. And then this thing called heat and humidity is going to rock and roll us until October. So we're on, it's like a catch-22. We just flipped the time thing on Sunday, so we have longer days. That's great. Can get a lot done now. I mean, it doesn't get dark for 3 more hours plus instead of 2 hours. And if it were, October when they flip-flopped it the other way, we'd be looking at about an hour more of daylight, about an hour more of usable daylight. Instead, we've got 3 hours more. And in a few months, it'll be 4 hours more. So that's nice. But we get the heat and the humidity rolling in and, better have the air conditioning working properly in the car and at home, right? Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. We got a good one for you. In about 20 minutes, Jeff Thomas will join us again on the program. I just like getting this guy on the program. 60-something years old. Native New Orleanian, has a lot of experience in his life, has a lot of opinions, follows the news. He's a part owner, one of 4, I believe, 4 owners of WBOK Radio, the black radio station for New Orleans. I'm going to have Jeff on in a few minutes and ask him a bunch of stuff. Lots of topics. I mean, a ton. A lot. Including this one. This has to be one of the greatest quotes in NOPD history, Miss Peaches. Maybe City of New Orleans history. The rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. You've got to someone's got to put that on a bumper sticker, huh? The rats eating our marijuana, they're all high. NOPD Chief Ann Kirkpatrick. That's what she said. The rats eating our marijuana, they're all high. She noticed the rats watching lots of television, eating lots of snacks. They kept craving chocolate. Some became lazy. Some became strangely motivated, like cleaning up the house and wiping down glasses with like a napkin, just obsessive. Anyway, the rats eating our marijuana, they're all high. She used deductive reasoning. There were regular rats just doing their rat thing. And then there were these rats that were just high. One of them had on a, Steal Your Face, Grateful Dead t-shirt. One of them had a bicycle, but it was like a chopper, One had a leather vest on, but nothing on underneath it. No shirt or anything, just the leather vest. Bell bottoms. The rats eating our marijuana, they're all high. NOPD Chief Ann Kirkpatrick. The NOPD does desperately need a new headquarters, a new facility. The council has to approve this move to the old Freeport McMoran building, taking up a couple of floors there, to the tune of about $7 million over a decade. It's north of $50,000 a month rent. The U.S. Supreme Court has not ruled on Texas's state immigration law, but they did extend a freeze on putting that law into effect for another week. Had an original extension. This is an extension of the extension. Lindy Boggs Hospital redo has bogged down. You saw what I did with that? Lindy Boggs Hospital redo has bogged down. Get it? The jokes on the Nutri-Ground with Corey Johnson can't be surpassed. It's just a quality. We call it a jocularity program, Miss Peaches. Jocular. I mean, isn't that just like if you say jocularity, you don't have a sense of humor, Miss Peaches? Isn't that safe to say? The jocularity of Miss Peaches' jokes are incredible. I think that just says Miss Peaches has no good jokes. I mentioned lots of topics. I'm just going to rattle through and you kind of know what the topic is. Like if I say Pentalba, you know it's about the mayor's apartment and the council. So I could go off on all that. And so I'm just going to say Pentalba. Landry, crime, sewage and water board. Apartments, English turn. No traffic, red light cameras. Reimagining Bourbon Street. Following the Miami campaign, I mentioned Lindy Boggs bogging down. Louis Armstrong, best airport in America. New NOPD, $7 million over 10 years. Council approval. Can't even read this one, Miss Peaches. I'll have to figure this one out. Fast writing, Miss Peaches. I can't even read it. No cover. Louis Armstrong. Something about Louis Armstrong International has some flaws. Two crazy flaws. You ready for it, Miss Peaches? No cover for the rain when you're departing. Have you ever been to Louis Armstrong dropping someone off when it's raining? You get wet. Like there's no cover over that? It's mind. I mean, they didn't learn from the original Louis Armstrong where they built a cover and then they were like, we got to put a cover over the cover. If you remember that. They put a shorty cover, like, okay, it's rainproof. The wind blows, everyone gets wet. They're like, we need a cover over the cover. So they need a roof, sadly, over the existing roof because that's a major flaw. I don't know how this, I love the architect. I love the architecture. I like the building, the form, the function. I wish it sat somewhere where you could actually see it from afar because it's sort of hidden. It's hard to get a good view of the building for anyone, seriously. But it's a beautiful airport. But there are two major flaws that just stick out like sore thumbs. And one is that the departures that, how did the architect Peely and these folks, like it's New Orleans, we rain more than anywhere in North America. We get more rain than anywhere, 65 inches a year. You have to have that area, nice glass cover, lets in the light when it's sunny, and maybe even tinted, whatever, and keeps the rain off of folks when they're getting out of their vehicle, for crying out loud. It's insane. And then the second one, if you've been to the airport, they need some people movers. Some of the gates are a long way away. And sadly, the airport wasn't built wide enough where you can add them in the future. Well, sadly, they didn't put them in. Second, there's no room to put them in. And that's crazy because, it's like you got to get in a golf cart or a wheelchair to go because there's no people mover if you're of a certain age or have a knee problem or an ankle problem. Or we can, I don't know what it should be. I mean, it's almost like there should be like a law. What's the average person that has you factor in like age, knee injury, ankle injury, back, sadly, like, how far can someone walk? You know, this isn't like Sweden or Germany. It's America. So you take everything into account, and that should be like the maximum distance anyone would ever have to walk to get into an airport. My mom's pretty active. She's 93. I had to pull the wheelchair gimmick to bring her to the gate because it was just too far. Hey, Mom, ready to walk a quarter mile from, where we park to the, gate? Like a quarter mile, no people movers? Maybe more. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Got a good one lined up for you. Jeff Thomas, part owner of WBOK Radio, is going to join us again. Lots of topics to discuss. Your phone calls, too. Coming right back on a pretty nice Tuesday afternoon in New Orleans. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Yeah, you right. The sounds of New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. I was running heat overnight for a little while. My house has got down in the mid 60s. Today, it was like 72 outside, but it was like 77 outside. So I turned on my air conditioning. If you ever need air conditioning or heat help, think River City's Total Maintenance. That's Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. Air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. You know, don't even think River City's Total Maintenance. Just think NOLAAC.com. Just think NOLAAC.com. That's easy. That'll connect you to River City's Total Maintenance. And then you know you're hooked up with the honest air conditioning and heating experts that come when you need them. That means right away, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know if you need heat or AC help. NOLAAC.com. Jeff Thomas, part owner, I believe one of four that own WBOK Radio. He joins us again on the program. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Corey. How are you, bud?
Good, man. Yourself?
Doing great. You know, working hard. Been a busy week. What is it, Thursday already? Gee whiz, I tell you, it feels like it. I know it's Tuesday, but I've just been working long hours, man. Probably, more than I should, but got to do what you got to do, right?
Someone told me something like 2026. I was like 2024, and like, just a year away. I'm like, no, two? I'm like, it was just like, wow, we just keep going on. Yeah, when you said it was Thursday, I was like, oh gosh, Jeff, everyone knows it's a Saturday. Get it straight. No, I wish. You're right. It's just a Tuesday. Always a lot going on in New Orleans, Jeff. Talking to a few people the last few weeks. We have like New Orleans, Chicago, LA type news cycle, political news cycle with about 10% of the population.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, a lot's going on. We just got out of the special session, which I think the last time I was on, what did I call it? Barbaric. I'm really, concerned about some of the bills that have passed. We knew they were coming. And now the regular session is upon us. And, a lot of the work needs to be done to make the state a great place to live, right? I mean, that's what we all want. We can disagree on how to get there, but ultimately, all of us, you, me, uptown, downtown, white, black, Hispanic, we all want this to be a great place to live and raise our families, right?
Of course. Yeah, I got that as one of my many topics. Let's get to the most important one first, all right?
Okay.
It's one of the greatest quotes in NOPD history, if not city history. The rats eating our marijuana, they're all high.
That was hilarious. That was really funny. I thought that was the best quote in a very, very long time. She said it with a straight face. I just thought that was funny. But one of the things that, it's funny that you bring up the NOPD superintendent. There was a lot of controversy about whether or not we should keep Michelle Woodfolk, who, has been a New Orleans native, 33-year career that she just retired last week. I was invited to her retirement party, but I didn't get a chance to go. But they brought in, the mayor chose to bring in, this lady from Oakland, I think, and new to town, and doesn't really know that the issues were, do you need somebody who knows the city and the department, or some outside person who can bring different eyes and look at it? And, that was funny. But one of the things that I think is most interesting is now it just seemed to ring hollow when she was protesting about this concealed carry that people are going to be able to do on July 4th, that for New Orleans, it just wasn't, the right thing. And I'm thinking, how do you really know, lady, what's right for New Orleans? Now, listen, I'm not anti-Ann Kirkpatrick. I don't want to, muddy the waters here. But it just seemed that her being an outsider in this case wasn't necessarily a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with the I don't know part you said. She just basically was saying that she's like most of law enforcement, anti-concealed carry without a permit. I don't get it. I had no problem with concealed carry. The getting the permit thing made me feel more secure that at least that person went through more testing and anyone that I know that got it never complained about it. They sort of felt the same way. Like, I don't mind doing it. You don't want any dope that has a gun being able to carry it concealed. I mean, I walk in a store, Jeff, and I see like some dude and he's got like a, holster and a gun and he's not law enforcement and he's carrying open carry. I mean, I kind of look at that person and I'm making a judgment call. 90% of the time I leave that store. I'm like, I don't know who this dude is. Could be just some idiot. He's carrying a gun. 100%. I'm glad I see it. I have the choice to leave. Now, it just, men are kind of dumb to begin with, Jeff, as far as our pride and we want to win and competitiveness and all that stupid stuff. Like in some ways it's great, but guns embolden men where, it's Jeff Thomas. He's a little bigger than me. I'm going to just back away from this. Oh, I've got a gun. Screw you, Jeff. And I accelerate things. I increase the tension.
Well, a couple of things I'll say about it. I think you're right about that. I think also this 18-year-olds get to carry just seems nonsensical to me. But additionally, removing civil and criminal liability, to me, it escalates it even further. You want to shoot them and kill them and make sure that there are no witnesses and anybody around it. You were threatened by the whole group of them, and so you shoot and kill them all. Otherwise, somebody could testify against you and say you started it, you picked the fight. So there's a lot of issues with it, and I agree with you. I think businesses have the opportunity or the option to restrict people from carrying guns into their establishment. But how do you know if it's concealed and concealed well? You don't really know.
No, of course not.
So I agree with you that it makes it, I feel less safe and it makes it more dangerous to me to be in New Orleans. What do you think about this? You got this scenario, you dig into a little bit of your innate racism. And you got these 4 hooded young black dudes walking down the street, walking towards you. They're hooded, they're laughing, and they look at you aggressively and menacingly. Hey, what's up? And you feel threatened at that point. You get to shoot and kill them. And I don't think that there are any rules and regulations surrounding when you have the right to shoot and kill. And you just feel threatened. You get to do it. And
hey, Mr. WBOK, only Whitey feels threatened by those guys. Exactly. The black guy doesn't.
Exactly my point. You understand exactly the point.
No, I was just wondering. Is that your point you're making? I'm just wondering. Like a black guy with a gun would go, oh, it's just 3 black guys in hoodies that, I don't know how you described them, intimidating, whatever. They would just write it off and not shoot them.
I think that, yes, I think so.
Okay, I got a real life situation for you from Jesse Jackson of all people. When I'm at an ATM machine and it's in a dark area, like not lit up bright, not dark meaning black, and I hear footsteps coming up behind me, I'm relieved when it's a white person, not a black person. That's from Jesse Jackson, so I don't get the, I'm not mad because I know who I am, but you just, as a 60-something-year-old guy, slipping in like that I have innate racism, I think that's hysterical. I think we should continue for the next hour, Jeff, and the audience will decide who has the innate racism at the end of the conversation, black and white. How about we just do that?
I know that got you. I know. Listen, this is a part of
because it's the BOK narrative. This the piling and the foundation of the building. You slip in nonsense, and then you want to continue building the building. But we know what happens. The building falls when you do that.
Well, wait a minute. Are you suggesting that there's no racism? That people who see young black kids walking down the street aren't afraid of them?
I just said Jesse Jackson. I said Jesse Jackson thought that. So, of course, but you said my innate, like, I have more racism than you. You might be more racist than me, Jeff. That's not possible.
Huh?
You might be more racist than me with this innate or subconscious racism than me, right?
Well, you mean bigoted because, black people can't necessarily be racist.
A black person can't be a racist. What is the definition of racism? Exclusively against black or about race? It isn't anti-blackism, it's racism. A black person most definitely can be racist and bigoted.
Well,
that's mind-blowing.
Racism is the ability, I'll look it up for you.
Please.
Is the ability to use race and have power over somebody. It's a systemic, can't say that word.
I'm in New Orleans.
Racial group. Huh?
I'm in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure it's politically black-led, but go on.
Right. So here's the point that I want to make about racism. Black people can be bigoted. White people can be bigoted. There's absolutely no difference. Black people that can be more bigoted against white people than some white people can be bigoted against black people. Absolutely. That's your point. True enough. But racism is a system. Racism is a system whereby people who have jobs or organizations or institutions use race to discriminate against. I'm suggesting to you that doesn't happen.
I'm suggesting to you that a black person that thinks a white person is the devil or a cracker or any of this thinks they're the inferior, anything. That's racism too, of course. Black people can be racist. That's
you
crazy.
You don't know the definition of racism.
No, I do. I know the definition of racism and bigot. Hang on, Jeff. We're going to take a quick break. I got to take the 32 after break. Coming right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disk, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Jeff Thomas is with us. Sorry, Jeff. Continue that 32-48 after break. I just let people know when they come down. I can't stop them. Go ahead.
Listen, I say things to kind of get you going. Listen, it is a fact that black people can't be racist, but what I want people to do is do
it. Is a fact. Say it fast. That's like a car disclaimer. It is a fact that black people can't be racist.
It is a fact that black people cannot be racist.
It was better to say it fast.
What I'd like people to do is go to the 1968 Kerner Commission, which defined racism for America. It is a presidential commission put together, and it helps people understand it. Listen, we can get lost in the weeds here, and we basically are having a semantics discussion. And
no, we're not. It's not. Semantics would be a bigot isn't necessarily a racist, but a racist is a bigot. That would be semantics. Saying a black person can't be racist is not semantics at all.
It absolutely is, because you do not understand, obviously, the definition of racism. Racism requires power. Racism requires the ability to affect somebody else's life because of your bigotry, because of your prejudice. By and large, African Americans.
It's not their bigotry based off of race.
And I'm in the middle of explaining it to you. You don't want to hear. I could tell it to you, but I can't make you hear it. And if you don't want to hear it, then I can't tell it to you.
Okay, so, I apologize. Go ahead.
So the point that I want to make is that to have power, racism rests in power to affect other people's lives. Bigotry and prejudice is just a feeling that people have. There's a big difference. White people, and not you, although you do have, not you, and most people don't, but the power that lies behind racism is the power of institutions. It's the power of, for example, the government not allowing redlining neighborhoods. And so then people can't get loans for mortgages, can't get good interest rates, can't get good insurance.
So a black man in America that is bigoted against white people, he's not racist towards them.
That is correct.
And if you say, why don't you like them? And they say, because they're white, he's not racist.
He's bigoted. He's
Okay.
prejudiced.
All right.
He's
Wow.
not racist.
And even when you asked him,
listen.
it's because of color of skin. I mean, Malcolm X would say he was a racist originally. Malcolm X would say that. And then he would say later, I was not. I realized all races of people were Muslims, and only I was into this all black American Muslim group. So I don't know. We just disagree on that, Jeff. But I don't like the little, the little assumption you threw in there about me. And I could. You want me to irritate you, Jeff? I will make. You can only irritate me to this level. I'll irritate you where you want to come to the studio and fight me before 6 o'clock. We both have our emotions on our sleeve about irritating each other. Wasn't the point? We have a lot of good topics, but you want to throw in that race card all the time. It's mind blowing. You can't help yourself.
I irritated you. Listen, it's your show. I probably should have gone at this a different way, because there are really
exactly 60-something-year-old man coming on and pulling that in the beginning of the segment. Terrible.
Right.
You'd probably 86 me from your show.
Huh?
You'd probably 86 me from your show. You'd probably say we were going to keep Corey on till 5:30, but now we're getting rid of him.
Are you kicking me off?
No, of course
Let me stay on. I'm good for ratings. So there are people out there right now listening to us who are some people saying, "Yeah, Corey, get him," and some people saying, "Yeah, Jeff, get him," and some people don't know what the heck we're talking about. So this is radio. We're having talk radio. Let's do it.
I just hear people out there going, "That Corey's so right. What's wrong with that Jeff guy?" That's all I hear. No, I did going into the break. I did tell Miss Peaches, I'm like, "It's good radio, Miss Peaches," because she looked at me kind of wide-eyed with the head tilt. All right, we already discussed the rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. I wanted to know how. I'd have to ask Ann Kirkpatrick, what's the difference between a rat that isn't high and one that is? Like, what do they do differently? All right, that's a whole other show and topic. The NOPD does need a new facility, Jeff. Obviously, the council has to approve this move. They have to go somewhere. There's talk of that Freeport McMoran building, but it's like 2 floors, $56,000 a month, about $7 million over 10 years. I don't know the cost per square foot of that building, and if it's fair or not. I'm sure it is. I'm not really getting into that. It seems more like Gale Benson Tower, the company that's in that building that promised the 3,000 jobs or whatever, DMX or whatever, that rented the floors and didn't using them. We need, hey, can somebody give us the floors for the NOPD? Can someone give us a cut deal on the floors that you can write it off for the NOPD? I think we need to work more with that model than just like, hey, it's Jeff and Corey and they have a business. Let's go rent space downtown. Right or wrong?
I think you're 100% right, Corey. And listen, there is a glut of office space downtown. That people are not renting these office buildings anymore. This is a problem nationally and hitting New Orleans. And so some of these buildings have over 50% occupancy, available space. And I think you're right. I think that they probably can write it off as, but I agree. I think that's a great idea. See,
there's got to be some people stuck in a lease that have a bunch of extra floors with nothing in them, and they could have the police come in and at least write it off or get a much lower rent, something out of the deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe they pay for the lights they use. Maybe they pay for the water they use. I mean, there's some nominal expenses that are involved in renting a place, but certainly, charging them, these high rates just doesn't seem to be right for me for the NOPD. You get also the advantage of having the NOPD right there in your building. There's got to be some benefit to that. I operate a convenience store, and we let the police come in and eat for free, and get water for free.
Yeah. No, I often, if I see police at a restaurant or something, I just go pay the bill and say, "Don't tell them I did it." Just get my to-go order and leave. And then when they're like, "Where's the check?" They just say someone else took care of it, or they can even say we took care of it. I don't care, Just try to tighten up the cops. Hey,
so do I.
I had Freddie King on the program, Jeff, and he's glad this Pontalba thing at least appears to be getting in the rearview mirror? Because it is a big waste of time.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It is the biggest colossal waste of time. And, meanwhile, we have real serious issues that are going on in Baton Rouge, that are going on here in the city, that we elect these people to do. I will say, Councilman Oliver Thomas was the first to say he thought it was a waste of time. I think also Councilman Eugene Green said that the council has better things to do. I'm glad to hear, Councilman King come out against this. It just seems to be a political axe to grind. And, I know a couple of the players. And I wonder, I question them, why are you doing this? Why are you wasting the people's time? And they think it's important. I think they're down in a rabbit hole. And, I think that they think that they are scoring political points and are happy to do that. But the people, the citizens of the city of New Orleans are suffering as a result.
Yep. Waste of time. Hey, do you live at English Turn?
I am.
Oh, you do?
What?
No, I think I asked you this before, and you said you lived at English Turn, right?
No, I don't.
You don't. You don't live at English Turn. Okay. Which neighborhood do you live in, Jeff?
I live over in Aurora, over in Algiers.
Okay, good. No, that's good. You're on the West Bank. That's good. That helps a little bit. Speaking of Freddie King, look, I'm against the apartments by English Turn on English Turn Drive or Boulevard, and I'll tell you why. Because we don't have very many nice things in New Orleans that are like newer, like English Turn. And if we were moving ahead when this thing was completed in like 88, they probably would have had other gated neighborhoods like English Turn all around it. So it'd be that type of thing there. So instead, it's like an incomplete gated thing. You got the Aubers that I don't want to say lower end version of English Turn, not quite as nice as English Turn, but it's a gated neighborhood. I wouldn't mind living in the Aubers, having a house there. They have that up English Turn Boulevard. Now they've cleared out a lot of acreage for like 600 apartments. I'm against it. I mean, I think you put that somewhere else. Why put it right next to English Turn? I don't get it. And Jeff, I don't live on the West Bank and I don't live at English Turn. I've never talked to anyone that does about this. I play golf at English Turn. I'll admit that, but the apartments aren't going to affect me playing golf. I just, as a New Orleanian, it could be in Metairie, it could be on the North Shore, metro area. I'd be saying the same thing. Just like, why ruin this area with the apartments? What do you think?
I agree. And I think, I wonder why, did you talk to Councilman King about zoning and how they allowed this to happen?
Yeah.
Planning Commission?
No, I really didn't get into like the specifics on how it's zoned that way, but it is for that. But he did say one person's for it and hundreds are against it. Literally, he's like, hard to find anyone for it in that, lower Algiers coast area. Just literally.
Yeah, it certainly cannot be good for property values. And you're right. That is in my estimation the premier neighborhood in the city of New Orleans. Bigger and better even than Uptown. It's gated, newer properties, bigger houses, more modern. I mean, plush around the golf course. It is a phenomenal neighborhood. I have friends that live there. I go back there pretty regularly, and that they are building this apartment complex right when you go into the main gate or come out of
the right on the side. Hang on, we're gonna come back on that in a second. I got to take the 48 after break. Jeff Thomas is with us. Don't move, New Orleans.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Thank goodness we have 40 minutes left, and we're probably not going to get sidetracked by any of Jeff Thomas's tricks.
It's good radio, man. Listen, what are we talking?
It's good radio baiting you, Corey.
It's my job.
It's my job to bait Corey. That's terrible. Oh, gosh. All right.
What do you want to talk about next? I'm going to be a good guest. I'm not going to go off the rails. I'm listening to your questions.
Be a nice person to me, Jeff. Oh, I got a lot of topics. Let me. I'm serious. I want to do like 6, 7 more. I'm glad we have time. Oh, did I mention the rats eating our marijuana? They're all high. All right, let me move on. No traffic or red light cameras, Jeff. That's. I like this. I mean.
I have one right now. I just got it. I just paid so many $75. Ugh. I can't. They keep getting me, Corey. I don't know what the heck. This same light. I don't know. They're waiting for me. I just go like 7 miles over and they catch me every time.
Well, Jeff, that stamp you used would have mailed it to New Orleans or Arizona, where the check did go.
Yeah,
I mean that's where the money goes.
Right. That's a very good point. That it doesn't even benefit the citizens of the city of New Orleans. It's just we get I think 30%, 35%.
Well, your boy, I shouldn't say your boy. He's not my boy or your boy, but your boy Alan Seabaugh, who's a Republican from like Shreveport. I don't even know who this guy is. I'm assuming he's probably a lot of his policies I wouldn't agree with if he's, a mainstream Louisiana Republican. I guess if he's more moderate, I would agree with it. He brought up a brilliant point, which I didn't even think about. When police are out there radaring and they're writing the ticket, Jeff, that goes to the police. When they're cameras, it bypasses the police. It goes straight to the city. If anything, it should go to the police. Like it's under their purview. It's like their deal. You're automating what we do, and you're keeping the money. That's sort of his point. I think that's a good point.
So absolutely. Early on, that was what the cameras, that is who used and benefited from these cameras. In fact, there was a police department in Arizona that was going bankrupt. They couldn't afford to pay. It was a small department. I like 10 officers. It could not afford to pay them based upon the property taxes of the municipality. And they came up with this traffic camera, and it kept the department afloat. And so, listen, I agree with you. This seems, and another point that is being made is that you're innocent until proven guilty. You got to have a lot of technology to be able to prove that these cameras are calibrated properly. That
Yep.
Suppose I don't know if you've ever tried to argue against this, but they go in, they show you
waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. They show you this on a computer. They show you that if you go this fast, supposedly it proves that you were speeding. You got no way to combat that. And so it is against folks, the regular common guy. I'm happy to see it go. There's a guy who's got one now and paid tons of them.
If it goes, I think it'll get passed and it'll go. And coupled with the fact, everything else you said, the calibrating the cameras, all that stuff, the mayor said she was getting rid of them and then went back on that, reneged on that. So
she did. She reneged on that because I think she saw the impact on her budget.
Yeah, I know.
Even though we only got 35% of the money, it was a huge cash influx.
No, I know, and we better not get the tolls off the Crescent City connection either. The bridge will fall in the river. You remember all that?
You remember that one, right?
Yeah,
I remember writing about that. Jackie Clarkson was the one who fought for that. But look, there's also this toll controversy going over in Bell Chase.
Yep.
That is a boondoggle. The company that is putting up the toll cameras there.
Look, you're right about that. What is it, like $700 million they're going to make building the $150 million bridge or something like that?
Correct. Exactly right.
Crazy.
Correct. Yeah, exactly right.
That needs to be fixed, but every Plaquemine resident needs to pay a friggin' quarter, Jeff. Jeez, I live in Plaquemine, okay? And that's my bridge now instead of that tunnel and that old bridge. I gladly pay a quarter every time going in and out. It's the 18-wheelers are going to pay like $20. They're going to pay off the bridge quick, but you're 100% right. That deal. I'd like to build bridges that take tolls and get $700 million after 20 years on the $100 million invested, $150 invested.
Yeah. Give me some of that action too. I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah, but listen, that was another thing you brought up, being an Algiers resident. Those tolls that paid for, the bridge had been paid for 30 times, and the money was going not in Algiers, not on the West Bank, all around the state of Louisiana. The toll money, it was ridiculous. And I think Pat Connick, was a great Republican legislator from over in, I think he's in Gretna, Harvey, one of them, led the charge, led the fight, and got those tolls removed. It was amazing how quickly it happened. And, I just think that we have to have that kind of leadership, where people represent the views of their constituents and not these national views, this national politics that I'm seeing overtaking the state, which concerns me greatly.
Yep. No, how disappointing the recall for the mayor went, just unorganized, crazy. That toll thing, this guy, Mike Teachworth, just a West Bank guy. What was the attorney? Pat Connick was the rep. The attorney was Pat Hand was the attorney.
That's right.
And they got with Connick and they got the tolls removed. It's that trio that got it done. And Just amazing. And yet, from Mitch Landrieu to, I remember having on, what was his name? Ronnie Harris, the Gretna mayor. I get $140,000 a year. I said, holy smokes, Ronnie. You get 140 grand, you're saying, all those Gretna residents paying that toll every day. And you not 1.4 million, not 14 million. Gretna gets 140 grand. He goes, yeah. I go, you running for office again? He goes, yeah. I go, don't. You're not getting reelected. And he ends up not running again for office. It's insane.
Every year, I don't remember, it was close to $100 million that those bridge tolls generated annually, and 90% of it was
yeah, you know, Blue Boy, I'm glad. Yep. You ready to come back on the other side, Jeff?
I'm with you.
Lindy Boggs Hospital, Louis Armstrong Airport, #1, NOPD, new spot. Oh, we actually jumped on that one already. Got a bunch of more topics. Jeff Thomas is on with us, part owner of WBOK Radio. 5 o'clock powwow next.
On the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hosden Vamp Incorporated. We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it.
The 5 o'clock hour, due to Jeff Thomas's caustic comments in the 4 o'clock hour, has been canceled. This is a note, a memo from the suits upstairs. Corey play reruns of Laverne and Shirley. So that's what we're doing. You can thank Jeff Thomas for this. The first episode is Laverne at the brewery, and the second episode is Shirley on a new date. Thank you, Jeff Thomas. Where's Drew Brees, everyone? All right, I'm overriding the suits upstairs, Jeff. This is literally a memo. 5 o'clock power hour canceled. Jeff Thomas made caustic comments towards Corey. That's crazy.
I get it. Listen.
Forget about them.
Sorry, I came on with good intentions to talk about everything, and we went off the rails. But I think it's really important that people understand the difference between prejudice and racism. And I'm sorry, you were mad? I can't believe you were mad. Intelligent conversations like this have to happen. And if we don't have these intelligent conversations, then we're going to continue to have problems in this country. So thank you again for being, the brave, courageous person that you are, to put up with, me, pushing the needle and pushing the envelope a little bit, right?
Miss Peaches, does Jeff even know what a kiss and kick is, even though he's in the radio business? You know what a kiss and kick is, Jeff?
No, what is a kiss and kick?
Oh, that Buddy D, he's one of the best ever. I mean, I really can't understand him all that much, but he is one of the best ever. You're kind of, kind of giving someone a compliment while also knocking them down at the same time. Just what you just did. What you just did.
That's backhand. I thought I was saying nice things that I thought this is what I intended to say if you didn't hear it. What I intended to say was that kind of conversation normally doesn't happen. It's important that it does happen. And even if people disagree, that they hear each other out, and that they, it could be spirited, it could be going back and forth, but we didn't go into name calling and attacking each other. We just argued the merits of the conversation. And that's what it takes to make things get better. So I appreciate you. So that's what I meant to say.
Oh, I got you. I mean, I know all that, but the innate racist thing was sort of name calling, but
I got you. Well, listen, there's a point. I was making a real point there. It wasn't an attack on you personally. It was a part of growing up in America is this notion of, you walking down a dark alley or even a light alley, and you see 3 little black dudes with hoodies.
Yep.
You clutch your purse. You clutch your pearls, Corey, if you want them. And my point is
black people too, though, right, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. We are all built into this narrative of black is dangerous, that black, you need to be afraid of it. And this is why, for me, this concealed carry thing is problematic in lots of different ways.
Yep. We will see how this experiment, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it works over the next few years. We'll see.
Yep. I'm with you.
That's one thing. It was funny. There was a clip on Twitter. I think it was the Fix NOLA site, or that guy or girl, whoever it is. And they had Oliver Thomas doing his show. And it was Oliver saying, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, maybe Jeff Landry and them are just like, you're part of the old guard. And he doesn't want any of the old guard. So that's why he's not including you in this. He wants to change. Doesn't want all the old guard. And he went into that, and I was like, yeah, that was me. And it was on my show. And then I just put the clip of Oliver and I talking about it. But I was the one that broached that subject. And I actually led into it saying, there are radio stations in town that don't want to mess with me because they're worried about what I might say or what I might, so maybe Jeff Landry doesn't want to mess with you because you're old New Orleans, whatever. I'm not saying I agree or not. I'm just saying maybe that's what it is. And then Oliver commented on it. But there is some, I think, validity to that in a way. Louisiana, New Orleans, I mean, it's been on like a 35, 40-year slide now when you compare it to like Texas and the rest of the South, Jeff. And almost any kind of change seems like it'd be a positive. I think you know how I feel about Jeff Landry. I think you got an idea. If you ever listen to the program or watch it, I do. I just want to give the guy a chance, and I'm on him like, with the spotlight, so I'll be ready to call anything out.
Saying in the white community, you on them like white on rice?
I think the black community might say white on rice too, huh?
Really? You've never heard that say before?
I've never heard anyone say they went across the Frank Davis Naturally Nolans Bridge. They always say twin span, but I'm assuming someone white, I don't know. We can get in all that too. We're going to go into the Charbonnet billboard of the law firm. Those are black people up there on that billboard.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Problem.
I don't.
This is New Orleans.
You can say the N-word. I can't say the N-word. You say the N-word because the white man told you not to say the N-word, so you're going to say the N-word. I don't really care about any of that stuff, Jeff. I let people do what they want. I know
you have important questions.
I do. We do digress. Geesh. I love this Miami campaign, this anti-spring break campaign. Did you see the spot?
I did. Wait. You know what? In our digression, you brought up a very good, important point, and we can get to the Miami thing. But I think this is critical to part of the conversation that you were having. And this notion of New Orleans versus Louisiana, and I disagree with you. You said this Texas. Let me tell you, this is a national trend. What you have are these big blue cities, which are the economic engines of their states, pitted against these red legislatures, which are taking the resources from the big blue states, but then creating legislation to attack and constrict the big blue states. I think that's what we're seeing here in Louisiana. It happened in Texas with Houston and Dallas being the big blue cities. It happens all around in Atlanta, in Georgia, in Memphis, in Tennessee. You can go around the country. Phoenix is not a great example.
Wow.
But because there are a lot
all the people that have moved there and work there, they'd probably just be like, dude, I'm moving here because there's lots of economic opportunity for all kinds of people. And doesn't matter what race you are, female, gay, straight. These are just economic cities that are blowing up. Texas is the fastest growing state in the country the last 30, 40 years. Right next door to us. The South as a region, the fastest growing region in the country the last 30, 40 years. We're surrounded by it, Jeff, and are fully stagnant as a city and state. Looney left New Orleans with its hyper woke, Democratic led exclusively and wacky right wing evangelical Louisiana, just the extremist rule in Louisiana. The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. We're surrounded by incredible growth, and we have none for 40 years. We missed it.
Yeah. You're right. There was a time New Orleans was as big as Houston, bigger than Atlanta, and now those are, Houston's the fourth largest city. The city of Houston has 4.6 million people that live in the city of Houston. The state of Louisiana has 4.4 million people. That city is bigger than our state.
Yeah. Harris County is larger than Louisiana. Houston's about 7 million in the metro. New Orleans is about 1.2 million in the metro.
Right. Well, you're right. And so the issue, though, is that with these legislatures that I was bringing up, is that these Republican, like we have this supermajority legislature, Republican legislature in Louisiana, which is creating these laws that certainly people in New Orleans are pushing back on. And I mean, even you hear the mayor and the city council talking about exempting parts of New Orleans from this concealed carry thing, which to me seems ridiculous, because if it's concealed and well concealed, how do you know?
No, of course.
Unless somebody uses
exactly.
it. But I just wonder, part of the democracy is, people's voices being heard. And if we're going to have these super majorities which lock out large swaths of the community, is that a good thing? Is my question to you.
Yeah, I don't know where people like in Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Nashville, are complaining about it. I just see booming cities with great economic opportunity.
They are. Listen, I have a house in Houston. I live in Houston part of the time. It's the same narrative there. It's the same pushback there. Just like we're having this conversation, that they have the same conversation about regressive statewide policies affecting the city. They just went through a whole mayoral election, Sylvester, what was his last name? The outgoing mayor was, very liberal in the state and used to push back against Greg Abbott. It was a thing. And the same thing happens.
Hang on one second, Jeff. Hang on one second. Got to take the 16 after break. Coming right back. More with Jeff Thomas.
Custom window treatments can enhance the value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, With 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville, a day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Go to latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. East Bankers, West Bankers, Latrim's got a position for you in their Elmwood facility under the UEP Long Bridge. Convenient. North Shore folks, they got a facility on I-12. Convenient. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. Latrim.com. Jeff, it is 16 after 32:48. That break train comes down the tracks. We don't get out of the way. It runs us over. So I apologize again. Continue.
You got a lot of good ads. Yeah. No, but you wanted to talk about spring break in Florida?
Yeah. Miami has a campaign, We Need to Talk. And it's like a 30-second campaign that I think mostly ran on social media. And it's basically like, hey, spring breakers, enough. Stay away. That's the beginning. And then they kind of talk the talk and walk the walk. They're like, we're going to have curfews. We're going to have bag searches. We're going to stop. We have DWI checkpoints. We're going to shut down the beach at night. We're going to have $100 parking downtown. Like all these things. Like after I see that ad, I'm like some 22-year-old kid's like, dude, let's go to Lauderdale, bro. You don't want to go to Miami after that ad. You can talk about that ad if you want. I just thought we should embrace that to reimagine Bourbon Street because it's a toilet no local goes to. Make Bourbon Street a jewel, a gem where locals would want to actually go. What do you think?
Listen, I think that is a brilliant idea. It's the best idea I've ever heard you mention. And you've had a bunch of good ideas, but that to me is by far one of the best things that I think can happen in New Orleans. But also the other side, as I hear you, I'm thinking about it out loud. It is still, the French Quarter is still the economic draw. It's the architecture. If you modernize it, if I think I'm hearing you say that, it kills the charm.
Oh, no, I wouldn't modernize a thing. I'm talking about Bourbon Street. Get rid of the daiquiri shops, the big-ass beer, the strip joints, the trinket shop selling just stupid, vulgar shirts with just dumb comments, stuff no locals would buy. Make like jazz clubs and cafes, light it up bright. I mean, right now, any demographic you want to bring up, Jeff, I think it's clearly majority white, but it's all demos. Girlfriend, boyfriend, they pull up, they park their truck, they walk into the Quarter, They buy a couple of daiquiris. They walk up and down the street for a few hours, get back in the truck, drive back home, go back to Mississippi, go back to Hammond, go back to New Orleans, wherever they came from. They spent, Sally, $18.42. Jimmy, $23. You know what I mean? It's just, there's no economic impact for the city for that. It's just too low per head, just the wrong economic demographic. And then the strip joints and the prostitution and the drugs, it's all cash, no taxes generated. It's a toilet. And the goal is to make it where locals would want to go. And the tourists are going to flock to it even more, and more money spent, Jeff. That's the big part.
I hear you, and part of my in my mind, I start thinking about the market and free market economics. And if your idea is right, then why aren't there more jazz clubs? Why aren't there more nice restaurants? Why is it that the proliferation of T-shirt shops and daiquiri shops and bars is the thing in the French Quarter? Is it that it's always been? Why aren't these other businesses, which I agree, what I would go, and I don't go because what it is, and I know what it is. What is it about the market that is preventing it? I think upriver, you're seeing that this new, what is it called, river district development is kind of that. Is what.
Oh, that's nice. No, that's like we were talking about English Turn. We need nice and new. So I'm glad that's happening. That's a neighborhood, work, play, lifestyle, everything in one spot. I just think Bourbon Street, Jeff, I mean, you said it. It's always been that way. I mean, come on. Crabby New Orleanian, cynical, not even that mean to be. Black, white, whatever. It's always been that way. It ain't going to change. It's New Orleans. It doesn't change. That kind of mentality, I think, is why a lot of it's there. But strip joints make a lot of money. We don't need to get into Motwani, that dude. Motwani, give him credit. No one wanted to touch anything. He bought it all up when it was cheap. But then, because no one else wants to run trinket shops or big-ass beer or daiquiris. So he does. So that's what we get. So you just rezone that street. And then the Royal Street right now, fencing on the windows, fencing on the doors. Because after 6 p.m., they don't want some drunk guy from, wherever throwing his bottle through the window. Just so... I just think we can do a lot better than the toilet that is Bourbon Street.
I get it. Listen, and I do like Royal Street. I mean, I can't afford most of the art. I go through there. Some of it I like, some of it I don't. But the prices seem to be, they're just out of my reach. But
well, Jeff, how do you put art on the wall in both your New Orleans home and your Houston home?
Well, I got to tell you, I am really an art collector. I mean, I have a lot of great artists hanging up on my wall.
And a house collector, apparently. Jeff Thomas is doing well.
How about that, huh? Yep. I tell you, I've been working hard a long time and still working hard to this day, Corey, just like you. Here, I'm working right here, right now. This is work. And then when we finish this call in a few minutes, I'm going to be working on some paperwork. So
isn't it sad there's some people out there that are like, Jeff Thomas has a house in New Orleans and one in Houston, and like they're bummed about that. It's like, what are you bummed about, dude? Maybe just go look in the mirror and work harder tomorrow. Get up early. I don't know what to tell people that's like the people that they want the apartment next to English Turn. It's like, why? Why do you want to wreck the nice thing? I don't live on the West Bank. I don't live in English Turn. I have no dog in the hunt like you, but why wreck it with that next door? That would wreck it. That would downgrade it. So I don't know. Some people like misery.
Yeah, they don't listen. People talk the talk, but don't want to walk the walk. I'm 14, 16 hours a day, literally 7 days a week. It's what I do. And, I like it. I get enjoyment from it. It gives me the pleasure. It gives me motivation. There are challenges that I have to overcome. I enjoy figuring things out, overcoming these challenges and making things work. Sometimes I'm successful. More often than not, I am successful. There are times when I thought a business would be good and, we got to recalibrate. So, but it takes a lot of work, and it takes, like I said, 14, 15, 16 hours a day, many days, 7 days a week, and I'm happy to do it. So to the haters, when I hate because I got a house there and a house there, I could talk about a lot of other things. I don't want to do that. But
no, you go ahead and brag. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not bragging. Put in the work, and you can have anything you want. It's America, God dog it, and you can do great things too. And if a black dude from, listen, you always say you were raised right. I was raised right too. 2 parents. My brother and I got the benefit of going to, some of the best schools in the city, state, and country. And, so we were fortunate. And, sometimes other people aren't as fortunate, and I recognize that. But, I have friends of mine who didn't have the similar upbringing as I, but are also doing well. So, it's the land of opportunity. But listen, there are challenges. There are challenges because of race. There are challenges because of class. There are challenges, all sorts of challenges. Life brings them at you. But, the winners overcome challenges. They see challenges as opportunities. Other people complain, I like to overcome them.
I remember I was having a conversation, Troy Carter to the left of me, Oliver Thomas to the right, Troy Henry. And Troy Henry said, that Jeff Thomas is one of the laziest people I know. And Oliver said, trust fund baby. That's what Oliver said. He just said, trust fund baby. And then we changed the conversation. I'm like, man, they're getting on my guy, Jeff Thomas. I thought they were tight.
You had my back, huh? You had my back.
I had your back in that situation with Troy Henry and Oliver Thomas. I was ready to throw down with those guys. That 6 foot, plus frame doesn't intimidate me, Jeff.
I get it. I'm a big dude, man. Look, I'm a smart guy. So, but listen, those are 2 of my best friends. Those are guys who I rely upon, who I know that do good things. I certainly don't have a trust fund, never did. And, my parents worked hard their entire lives and, gave me what they gave me. The trust fund was, go out there and do it, believe in yourself, have confidence, and overcome obstacles and challenges. That was the legacy. Because I told you, Corey Johnson, white people inherit $96,000. Black people inherit debt. So, listen, I'm on the black people side. And so I just want you to know that I never had a trust fund, baby.
I think it's 96,000 and 9,600 or something, 10%. 10%.
No, it's debt. Black people inherit debt on average. On average, there's some black people that inherit millions. Most inherit debt.
You want to know what's bigger and more important than all of that, Jeff?
What's that?
The rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. They're all high.
Yeah, you're right.
NOPD chief and Kirkpatrick.
10 more minutes if you want me to hang. You kicking me off? I gotta go.
No. Well, let's see. What else did I want to hit you with? We talked about the NOPD moving, airport, Lindy Boggs.
Airport. Let's talk about the airport.
Yeah, the airport. I guess we skipped the airport. The airport's voted best in America. I love the airport. I think, I wish you could see it better because I love the architecture. It's beautiful. A couple of just major flaws that I see, Jeff, not to be cynical, but.
The best airport. Tell me what's wrong with it.
You ever drop anyone off when it's raining?
No, I haven't.
Well,
no awning. Yeah, that's right.
It's unbelievable, dude. I mean, I'm like, covered. After the other airport where they built the awning and that one didn't work when it was windy rain, so they built the roof over the roof. We're probably gonna have to do some gimmick like that because have a roof that drains onto the existing roofers. I don't know what they're gonna do because I'm just amazed that this Peely guy, this incredible architect who is awesome, and I love the airport. But
there's got to be, listen,
it's a rainy city.
There's smarter people than you and I who design airports. And this is one of the newest airports in the country. And it was designed intentionally without an awning. Is that because maybe when you're dropping people off, they want you to keep it moving? I see people parked, and that aggravates me when I'm trying
if it's a downpour, you're getting
somebody off. I mean, they're parked. Why don't the Kenner police do their jobs and run the people?
Well, that's a whole other topic. I just think if it's a downpour and people departing getting wet in a downpour and have to run 20 feet, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's a flaw. And then if you've ever flown out of there, I mean, 2 things. There's some gates that are a long distance and there's no people mover. And what's worse, there's no room to put in a people mover, Yeah.
Every other airport that of this size has a people mover. I know we have never had one. I remember the first time I was a younger kid traveling. I didn't know what the heck that was. I was traveling with my parents, because I was raised right. And we on the trip, And I just threw that in because you always throw that in. But I didn't know what the heck that was. And I got on it and I started running and I fell and it kept moving and my daddy was yelling at me. But, maybe that's why they don't have them, because of the kids like me. But I agree that there's got to be something about the distance, how long it is. Most of the people movers are like between gates. They aren't, if I think about the other airports, they are not in the gate area. So I think because of the layout, because it's such a short distance between the two sides, maybe there's not enough room for a people mover.
No, that's the problem. These great architects who I can't criticize, they're world class. I'm glad they designed the building. They just screwed up on, dude, in the front. The awning has to be one of the most important aspects of the building. It rains a lot here. We don't want to mess up like we did with the original airport, and they did it again. It's mind-blowing. And then the second thing is no people movers. And what's worse, there's no room to add them. That's what's really mind-blowing. And
leave it to Corey Johnson to find problems with the best airport in America.
I had to wheel my mom, 93, who can walk and drive a car all the way to the gate because she can't walk an eighth of a mile, maybe.
Yeah.
I just.
But they have people who do that. They have attendants.
No, they do. I could have got someone to wheel it. They have golf carts too. That's right. I just think like there's a lot of regular people, Jeff, and my mom's pretty regular, like her, but even younger that. You might have a knee. You walk 3 blocks, it swells up. You're going to walk 3 blocks in that airport. You know what I mean? Maybe if your gate's at the end. So the walk is pretty long, for some gates.
Listen, Kevin Dolio, who is I don't know what his title is. He runs the airport.
Yeah. He's the director, executive director.
Executive director. He does a great job. I've known Kevin since we were younger guys, and he has gone all around the country running airports, smaller airports, assistant executive directors. I remember when he got the first job at another city to be the executive director, it was always his aim to come back home and run an airport. And by golly, he is running the best airports. That sucker is clean. You talked about Troy Henry. They have the contract to clean that airport. It's like cleaner than Disneyland. That place is immaculate. There's always somebody around. One time I dropped something and they were there sweeping it up within seconds. It was like they were monitoring the floors. It is an amazing facility. It is clean. It's beautiful. It's bright. It is a piece of architectural significance, as you described, and it's well run. And listen, I do. I like to go clear and TSA pre. So that's just the way I roll.
No, it's because you're a big shot, multiple homes.
Huh?
Well, I said, because you're a big shot with multiple homes and a litter. You just admitted you littered.
I gotta go back and forth, man. I ain't got time to be waiting in line with the regular people. I'm kidding, folks. It's a joke. But listen,
no, he's not.
Is the way to go if you can do it. I mean, they scan your eyeballs. You walk right up. I do feel kind of awkward when there's a bunch of people in line and they just kind of push me ahead, But hey, listen, you know what, Corey? It's the white people the most that are the most upset. Who is this black guy going ahead of me? That's what the black people are like, go ahead, brother, go ahead. The white folks, they just don't like me going ahead of them.
Hey, that's that Jeff Thomas guy. He was on Corey's show. I don't like him going ahead. I understand.
I'm just kidding. But I do like the convenience of that, and But even that now,
I do like the convenience of getting my rear end kissed.
What?
I said I do like the convenience of getting my rear end kissed. You're cutting in front of everyone. You're an entitlement trust fund guy.
That's right. I've never had a trust fund. I tell you, the only thing I got left was and work hard, treat people right, do your best, and you can do anything you want to do. You got to overcome racism. You got to overcome problems in the country as a black man, but you can do it. And you know what? Those are just those isms. There are all kinds of isms that everybody has to overcome. I'm sure you get the good-looking guy-ism. You're such a good, smart guy. People don't like you because of that, Corey.
There's an intimidation that the women.
Overcome that.
There's an intimidation that the women could flock to me at the office, any office I've been in. Jealous boyfriends, husband types.
I get it.
That's not my game, though. There's lots of fish in the sea. I'm not going to go after some hooked up fish. I'm not going to go rob the crab trap.
They just see the handsome guy, handsome, smart, articulate guy you are, and they don't like you because of that. So, but you have overcome it because you were raised right. And the point that I really want to make as we kid around is that all of us are going to face challenges in this world. All of us are going to have to overcome whatever the obstacles that are placed in front of us. It's our job to, figure out a way to overcome them. Otherwise it'd be easy for everybody, and so that's what I want to leave your audience with. You can overcome it. You can do it.
Hey, two more questions, two more topics. One, this one's no sizzle, but it's important. That's why I'm bringing it up, but it's pretty dull. Sorry. That Lindy Bog site in Mid-City bogging down again over there on Doc Francis Parkway in Bienville. That's a nightmare, man. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know enough about it. It seems like the people that have it now are trying, but you need all kind of federal grant. It's in a flood zone. They got to overcome that. Just that thing's been out of order for 20 years now. Something wrong with that. It's bogging down that area.
Yeah, it's deteriorating every day. It's a bad situation. You're right. Getting financing for these kinds of projects is more and more difficult. You would think, though, that in the city of New Orleans, with the lack of housing, that there would be some avenue or option. But I understand that they explored that and have not been able to do it. These are tough times. The economy was shrinking. We were on the verge of a recession. I think as the economy rebounds over the next few years, some more it will become available. Money is hard to come by these days. But I think that, it's bad for the neighborhood because you got to live with that. You have to deal with, that the eyesore that place has become.
Yep.
And what do you do?
Yep. Yeah. The politicians in New Orleans, they talk housing every election and then they never fix the affordable housing. Right. So it's more of a political talking point than reality. All right. Speaking of, sorry, we have to end it on such a sour note with a crappy question, Jeff, but that's how we do it. The new session in Baton Rouge. Any hope?
This is what I'm talking about. I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. The thing that concerns me is that you have a conservative governor who is, he's doing what he was elected to do, and you have this supermajority, which is able to do whatever they want to do. But they have real serious work to be done. We're talking about insurance. If we can't, my insurance in the city of New Orleans, I'm ashamed to tell you how much it is. It's nearly $20,000, my property insurance. And so it is, I had to make a down payment on the insurance so that my mortgage wouldn't go up, $2,000 a month. It is problematic. I watched the news recently. There was a lady who had to sell her house, was forced to sell her house because of the cost of insurance. She couldn't afford it. This is a dramatic problem. And I'm concerned about what I see are, these balloons about possible options. None of them seem good for the consumer. One is if an insurance company can drop you anytime, even if they've been, now the rule is if you've been a customer for 3 years, they can't drop you. Now they're going to do away with that. They're going to be able to raise rates at any time without even getting approval from the legislature or the insurance commissioner. There are so many issues and these are the fixes that they're talking about, so that insurance companies will come into the market. Part of the issue also is the storms, and this is what I think. This is where Louisiana is falling short, in my estimation. We ought to have the biggest, baddest coastal protection agency in the world. We need to be able to know how to combat storms. We need to have the newest technology. We need to have bigger, stronger gates. We need to be able to advise the Army Corps of Engineers on the latest technology. LSU Xavier, Dillard, Tulane, all of our universities need to have, study on this kind of stuff, and we need to have people boots on the ground on the coast, figuring out a way to build up to help us protect us from storm surge. There was a time when there were enough cypress trees and swamp lands and all kinds of stuff that hurricanes, even big hurricanes, wouldn't decimate and kill the city like they have done before. We need to have the proper flood. We need to invest in infrastructure. We need to invest in the kinds of things that make a difference in our lives. And I'm hopeful that this legislature, now that we can kill people, now that we can, have with impunity, now that we can, put young kids in jail, now that we've taken away summer food for young kids, now that we've done those things, we can focus on making this place safe for us all. Because listen, by golly, if the place is underwater, we can't live here. And if the place can't withstand a storm, we can't live here. And if the insurance is $40,000 a month, we can't live here. And so we need the legislature needs to do whatever it has to do to figure this thing out, and so they got a super majority. They can do whatever they want. The governor can do whatever he wants. There's no excuses. They need to make it happen.
No, there's going to be a lot of like the concealed carry, a lot of those types of laws passed. And I don't mean like concealed carry of guns. I just mean folks that are concerned about those things that are important. And it's going to be dramatic changes in policing at the Sewerage and Water Board. The city that might just get yanked from the city entirely. You mentioned insurance. You can throw in education. They're going to jump on all these things. So all we can hope for, Jeff, is that these guys get it right and fate's on our side, that the change is positive. I don't have a lot of confidence. I'm trying not to be jaded or cynical, but we've been down this path before, Democrats and Republicans. Hopefully this dramatic change shifts the boat in another direction for New Orleans and Louisiana, because we need it, man. It's this 40-year run of ineptness, of stagnation is not good. I'm with you 100%. And, I am hopeful that you are right. I think this is above race. This is above class. This is about all of us. If we're going to live here, then we need to, come together, put our heads in the room and get it done. Whatever it takes. Jeff, always a pleasure having you on the program, man.
Been my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Corey. And thank you to your audience for listening. I've been getting text messages from people who are listening to us saying, hey, tell him this, tell him that. But, it's been a great opportunity to talk to your audience again. And I got to get you back on WBOK. I haven't been hosting. We've been getting some really good guest hosts who come in, and so I don't have to do that.
No, you haven't.
I'm on. You're coming on with me, right?
Yeah, I'm coming on with you, but don't say you've been getting quality guest hosts. You have not.
We have, absolutely.
I'm just
we have
with
Eddie Francis, who was great, young and
I know Eddie. Eddie's a good dude. I know Eddie 30 years. Probably haven't seen him in years. He's a good guy.
There you go.
Yep.
He is. Arnie Philco has been a guest host. He's been on.
That's another good guy.
Great guest host.
Yep.
We have had lots of great. We've had Dr. I can't think of her name. She guest hosts with your guy in the afternoon that you talked to me about. And we get Xavier Professor.
Who, the racist, sexist, homophobic guy? That guy?
You said that. I didn't. And so listen, the point that I want to make is the next time I'm on, you and I are going to go do this on WBOK. It's going to be fun again.
Love to do it.
Talk about race first thing out the bat.
Yeah, I'm sure this show does well, and I get why you did it. But I'm in the car like at night sometimes going to get dinner, and I'd catch Oliver's replay, and now I get Stuart Smalley or whatever. What's his name? I get it.
I didn't hear you.
I said at night I'd be in the car going to get dinner, and I could tune in like an Oliver Thomas replay. But now you have the syndicated Stuart Smiley or Smalley? What's his name?
Tavis Smiley.
Tavis,
that's
yeah,
a great show. Yeah, listen, that is that is climbing in the ratings in this market. Let me tell you, don't.
I'm not. No, I listen sometimes. I think it's a quality program. It's not enough where it's drawing me in. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I'm not knocking it. I said leading into it, I get it. I mean, I'm running the station. I'd probably be like, this is better than replaying the morning show. But I liked catching the replay of the morning show.
People love it.
Yep. I like replay of the morning show because that's when I was in the
It
car.
is. Let me just give you some Nielsen numbers on it. It is the second highest rated show in that time slot in this market. So people like it. 7 to 10. Check it out.
Jeff, I don't want to call you out on this, but I promise you that is incorrect information.
I'm telling you, in the Nielsen ratings.
You want to make a wait? I haven't looked at Nielsen ratings in years.
Market segment. I'm talking about African Americans.
Let's narrow the demographic. Men 25-54, black, night, talk, local. Oh, geez, and Pete.
Making a point.
Yeah,
making
but
a point. It's a good show.
don't diss old QUEYLDNOERNO B97. Come on.
I'm not talking about those.
No, I'm not talking about those. The ones that are beating us.
They are. I'm telling you. Do check Nielsen. I promise you. It is skyrocketing into the market.
Jeff.
But anyway,
you're the man.
I know you got to go. I got to go. Thank you for the opportunity. Your audience is extremely intelligent. After the WBOK audience, this is probably listeners on the radio in New Orleans.
You're the man, Jeff.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks. Oh, Jeff, what's the website for your news?
Think504.com. Think504.com. Great articles up there this week. I got to tell you, people love them. We wrote about the legislature. We wrote about the upcoming legislative session. If you haven't been to that website, you are missing it. It is like I said, we get over 1 million hits a month, and it is the second most. And you can check this.
Oh boy!
Visited website after NOLA.com in this marketplace is think504.com. Check it out.
Wow, I'm checking out thing right now. Pornhub.com. Number 2, dude.
No, sir. Think504.com. Thank you, Corey Johnson. Have a great rest of your day.
Any scantily dressed ladies on that site?
Occasionally.
Wow.
But they have bikinis on. We did an article, and it was funny you say that.
Jeez.
We did an article about Megan Thee Stallion. You know who she is, right?
Of course, yep.
Rapper, Megan Thee Stallion.
Yep.
And it was her greatest looks of the year. It was a few years ago. She had on bikinis, and wow, I tell you, she's built for bikinis, and lots of people.
She's built for a bikini. She is?
Yeah.
That's a big bikini. That's a big bikini. Hey, I was on the golf course the other day. How do you explain to your child that song?
Song?
I'm not even bringing up the song, the one with the initials. That's all I'm going to say. That's just.
I don't know. It's going over my head. I'm not sure.
Just Google. Just Google this when we get off. Just say, how do I explain Megan Thee Stallion's song to my child? And it'll pull up the song I'm referring to.
Oh, you're talking about
yes. Don't even bring it. Don't even bring it up. We don't need to bring up initials or any of it.
I'm sorry.
It's just that's mind blowing to me. I mean, when I bring that stuff up now, I'm like, it's Corey the Prude. It's like, no, it's not Corey the Prude. It's Megan the Stallion the Rude. It's just they gotta. I mean, do something.
People buy it.
What are you kidding me? Jesus,
you know who the biggest consumers of rap music are?
Oh, it's all white people. Are you kidding me? If it was just black people, there wouldn't be rap music. It wouldn't be monetarily viable.
That's so not true. That's untrue. They would make less money. Don't be putting out there that black people are poor and broke. You know what?
I'm not. I'm putting out that 90+% of rap music, the money comes from white people, not black.
All right. There you go. That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
No, you were leading into it, and now I'm saying black people are broke. Jeez, Jeff. It just never ends with you.
It that way. That was part of what you said, and so I just want to make
that's part of what you said. You clearly heard Corey say black people are broke.
When you say that if it was up to black people, there would be no rap music, then part of that logic is that black people can't afford to buy music. And I'm saying that that's not true.
I'm just saying 90% of the profit is from Whitey
Hey,
the Devil.
I like arguing with you. I mean, I got nothing better to do at 5:53 in the evening. You know,
Jeff, stay away from Whitey the Devil, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Corey, Jeff. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you're
Thanks
right,
again.
Jeff. See you, man. See you soon.
All right, man.
That's Jeff Thomas, part owner of WBOK. Think504.com. Think504.com. I like getting Jeff on the program. We get along fine. I'm telling you, like, I know on the radio, like, man, that was volatile or whatever. It's not. Jeff and I could go to dinner tonight. It wouldn't be a big deal. I'd be like, dude, you know, it's crazy how you let off. He'd be like, hey, but you said this. And I'd be like, you getting that, or are you getting the trout, or are you going with chicken? I mean, it would be something like that. That would be the conversation. Anyway, I like getting him on. I agree with him wholeheartedly about just people discussing race and issues and just throwing it out there. But it's got to be, I don't know how you say it, like kind of pseudo-normal people. You can't get extremists or fanatics. You can't get people that have these hardcore agendas. You need to get people that are kind of, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, politically, none of that matters. Just because politics have nothing to do with, like, you know, someone that would view things kind of outside the bubble, fair, objectively, kind of give, you know, if you have somebody that is racist or has an agenda or an angle and they're coming into that to, you know, to get to somewhere that they've already thought where they want to get at the end and they're doing anything to get there. I think the point of the whole conversation is, let's see where it leads, where it goes. Anyway, I'll continue to get Jeff Thomas on like once a month or so. I think he's got some pretty interesting points, even though he's wrong like 90% of the time. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Jeff might be heading over there. A lot of folks do that don't even live in the neighborhood. It is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Lots of mid-city folks call Katie's their home. But folks from other neighborhoods, folks from other parishes call Katie's their home. They're there like 3-4 times a week. It's in Mid-City, a Mid-City mainstay, Iberville, Corner Telemachus. Why aren't you at Katie's right now?
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Yeah, you're right. I like that Hammond organ. Well, pipey sound. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Crawfish for dinner. Why don't you go to your Rouse's Market? Live crawfish by the sack, ready for you to take home and boil, or hot from the pot, ready to eat crawfish. Hot from the pot, ready to eat at your neighborhood Rouse's Markets. No one sells more live in the sack, ready to boil crawfish than Rouse's Markets. No one sells more hot from the pot, ready to eat crawfish than Rouse's Market. Pick your crawfish, live by the sack or hot from the pot. Best quality, best price, best selection. It's crawfish season. That's what they're doing at your Rouse's Markets. Boy, I had some good Woodhouse Day Spa trivia questions. Miss Peaches says, Corey, if you can spit out the question in 1 second, and we can field a phone call in 1 second, you might be able to take that phone call, but then you'd have to make the phone call last about 2 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to have to save those trivia questions till tomorrow. We're going to throw them out there right now. All right, we will wait until tomorrow. Uh-oh, look who's waking up. What, buddy? You're hungry? You want to go for a walk? The weather's fantastic. Thanks, folks, for listening. Don't forget to thank Miss Peaches. Blue Boy, you're the best.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.